It looks like for this video, I'm going to be going ahead and getting into the spiel as to how I managed to make my music video, which I did it with two phones. One for the recording segment, of which I pretty much recorded the audio of my beats, and then the voice added to it, in which I had to first compile them into the first uh, one and only file. That way it can be fucking clear and distinct and be able to synchronize really, really well. And also, so that way I can lip sync with the video camera and all. But there's also a couple of drawbacks as well. Like, for instance, the devices of which were connected to the network, my network per se, and much there was too many, so I couldn't really transfer the files over to the phone to the fucking computer. So over to that last segment, whenever you saw the video a little bit lagging, I was actually using the computer on that last part whenever it came to just finishing it out as I pretty much wanted to. But other than that, I'd say for that partial, I really do want to complete it someday. And I'm actually just right now focusing on content, other content per se, until I do have the means in order to finish it. Then I'll go ahead and republish it. But as for the experiences of which I did have with it, whenever it came to that closet scene with the candle and all, well, let's just say there were quite a few spirits in the closet. At which, now granted, it didn't really show anything in the video of that particular sort, in which there was actually an ending to that last segment of the video at the very beginning start, whenever you see me talking, of where there was a part of the video which I did cut out whenever it came to the spirits of which I was feeling. And it was more so on the demonic end, in which people can call me fucking crazy, of course, in which honestly, I will take that as fucking kudos and credit, and I will see that as a damn good thing, for the world is a fucking circus, and if you're not crazy, then you're doing something fucking wrong. So that's the gist of it. But the last segment of which I did cut out was whenever I was looking at the camera. For some reason, my eyes were darkly colored around, almost like I was wearing eyeshadow. And for some reason, it just seems like my eyes were giving very little light, and it almost looked like my fucking eyes were about to be black. And I would say I was dealing with the somewhat partial possession. I wouldn't say it was fucking entirely. What was it? I wouldn't say it's in a strong possession. I would say it's very fucking partial. But there was some shit which I wish I could have kept, and sadly, I didn't keep that video. And I don't know why, but then again, I wouldn't have been able to transfer the files anyway, so that's also pretty much how it happened. What other things can I discuss about what the fuck I was able to do? Uh, I would say there were a couple instances whenever it came to the first part, whenever it came to the stairwell scene, in which I was going upstairs and fucking, that Biden Trump deal, which I did, in which there were a few times in which the phone just kept on fucking up on me and kept dropping and shit. So I had two weights. I had two pounder weights in order to hold that up. That was my adjuster and get shots. And I pretty much fucked around with that for a bit. What other? Hmm. Honestly, I'd say for about the same, that's pretty much about it. But whenever it comes to the paranormal experiences, I'd say I'm going to have to further elaborate on that on another time. But I'd say it's its own feeling that has its own many layers to it, of which I'm going to have to discuss within its own video. But other than that, I'd say this is about the good turner point of how I'm doing it. And whenever it came to the clothing changes, of which I constantly made during the video as well, it was because it was done over a span of a very long period of time. So I didn't exactly wear the same fucking clothes over and over. And I thought, fuck it, I'll just, wear something that's very mundane and something that's warm because it was cold, and then something that which was pretty badass. So hopefully y'all like this little segment of how the fuck I did it. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. And if there's any pointers that you're wanting to get whenever it comes to making your own content or just doing it based on very little resources, then I'd be happy to fucking answer those questions. And Let's see if there's anybody that shares some same passions or whatever that wants to do their own thing. Fucking ask 'em.